Chandali? Got it.
Shandali, maybe.
Chandali.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Chandali.
I would say Shandali.
Okay, got it.
But
You want to read it?
let's read it.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the final episode in my Body Poetic series here on my podcast, the Mr. Vince Podcast. Thank you so much for joining us again. Once again, joined by Meg Shuba from megshubayoga.com. And we are continuing our conversation about Meg's yoga teacher training programs, which if you don't know, I'm going to be participating in July. We're headed to Costa Rica.
Yes, we are.
It's going to be so exciting. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that and just a little bit more in this episode about the actual investment and what's required of everyone to join up with the program. So, you know, we've talked a lot about your methods and your aesthetic and all of that. So, obviously, at this point, if people have been listening to this whole series, then they know quite a bit about you and what sets you apart from everybody else.
Yeah.
And they're getting to know you as a teacher, as a practitioner. So why should somebody invest in themselves in this way as far as doing a teacher training program? Like, when is the right time? Like, when is the time?
When is the time? The time is when you first feel that little tug or that like itch to do it. You know, a lot of people think they have to wait years, and I'm very open with my own experience. And I was like a baby yogi when I did my 200-hour teacher training. My alignment was not there. When we talked about like self and like philosophical questions and theory, it like went over my head, I'll be really honest. But there was a pull that I'm like, I just have to do this thing. What this thing is, I don't really know. So and people will call me up, you know, before they register, and they're like, is it my time? I will first say there will never be the seas won't part and your life will be still, and all of a sudden you've got, you know, an abundant amount of time or money or resources. That's just not life. But I will say the minute that you get that itch where if you find yourself going on our website or even like listening to the end of this podcast, the minute that you have the interest, I would say, do it. Like, there's nothing that would be, you know, that would hold you back. Just go.
Yeah. Just like in yoga, your body knows what it needs.
Yeah.
You know where you need to head next. And if you feel the call or the pull to do something transformative, there's nothing more transformative than learning something new and leaving the country.
Right? Yeah. And that's why we do it. We just like throw ourselves literally into no man's land. And we're like, let's do this together.
There's a quote, I don't remember whose quote it is. I'm so sorry. But it's that travel makes you remember who you forget to be. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It might be like Jack Kerouac or something like that.
Yeah, it could be. It could be.
But I think that's so important. It's when you travel and when you experience other culture, especially when you immerse yourself into other culture, you suddenly learn a whole lot about yourself. You learn a whole other side of yourself.
It gives you new perspective. And also in this way, in this immersion way, it also amplifies like your reflection back on your life back home.
Yeah. So why would somebody immerse versus just doing an online, because I've seen a lot of programs that say, get your 200-hour certification.
Yeah.
It's, you know, this small amount of money and it's online and you can easily do it. How come that is that and this is such an investment?
Yeah. Yeah. You know, I always say any teacher training, if someone's in any teacher training, it's more people doing yoga, right? You know, once we get a lot of people that do like the online for 2 days, or not 2 days, but 2 weekends or whatever it is. And then they come back and they're like, actually, we're going to enroll in yours because I think most people would understand the difference between sitting at home and watching something pre-recorded, right? Yes, would that make my job a lot easier? Oh my gosh, yes. But I'm not in the job to make it easier. I'm in the job to offer up fulfilling experiences. So I go back to the drawing board every year and I edit my curriculum. Let's do it better. Let's make it more fun. Let's make it more intriguing. Maybe they didn't understand this quite as what I wanted them to. How can I change that? So when you're coming with us that this is, I call it a living and breathing program. It is. Like Brooke and Olivia, they laugh. They're like, "Are you working on the manual again? Like, girl, stop."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "I know, but as I change and I study and I promise my students I'm in constant study. So if I was to record this and give it to you, it's going to be null and void next year."
Well, and you need to be in the presence of your teacher to learn. I mean, there's nothing wrong with online classes. I teach online
Yeah.
classes, and technology is an amazing thing that helps us reach people and get people to be educated that maybe wouldn't have otherwise had the opportunity. But to not, for something like an art form or like yoga, you need to be present. You need to see the body in motion and be in the room.
Yeah, and I need to see you.
Yeah.
Right? And yeah, like you said, there's value with technology. That's why we've got 3 modules. So, we want it to make it accessible for people. And this year we're only away for 2 weeks. A lot of immersive trainings are away for 3, and we've done that prior as well. But we're like, let's just get like some of the lectures like online. You can live anywhere. You can even go rent an Airbnb in a really cool spot and Zoom in with us. And that way, you only have to be away from home for 2 weeks. So I do see the value of the online. But that element of being in person, that's like the cherry on the top.
It's so valuable.
Yeah.
Yes, to be present and to be just there in the
Yeah.
moment, experiencing all
And
of
when
it.
you have that spontaneous question, you can ask me and my team like in real time.
Yeah. And then, of course, so it's a big investment, but you have to think also like, what's the return on investment? So what am I getting from the experience? So what are some of the benefits? I mean, obviously the experience, oh my, excuse me.
I'm surprised I haven't done that. I talk with my hands all the time.
some of the benefits. So obviously the experience itself, the 2 weeks, the the community of being there and having that full experience, the diploma, the certificate, whatever actual piece of paper you get, the certification, if you will. But what else is the return on investment? What will the people take with them into the rest of their lives?
Yeah, gosh. Let me count the ways.
Okay.
I mean, I feel like there's so much, and I'm probably not going to do any of it justice. But I think we live in a world in which we need as many tools and techniques to regulate our own nervous systems. We need aid and help on how to get more clear, how to feel more free, how to not always have to reach for an iPhone or be busy, busy, busy. How can I sit with myself? Anything from regulation tools to help deal with stress. I mean, that's something that none of us are immune to. Stress or anxiety or overwhelm or judgment of others or judgment of ourselves. Like, how do I operate in every day and not feel life hit me at all these sides? Like, how can I just be? Add that with, they joke that yoga teacher training is like public speaking immersion as well, because you're gonna sit with others and speak your opinion, hear others. You're gonna get in front of a room and teach a class. You learn that. You learn more about your body. So I think all of us want longevity. I mean, I want to live until I'm like 110 plus. So I want skills and techniques that I can make my body feel as young as I can.
Yeah.
And my mind as young as I can too.
Not that these two things are related, but I did see that some of the world's oldest people actually live on the Nicoya Peninsula.
Yes, they do.
That is
I
ironic.
got chills.
It's very ironic.
Yeah.
Do you think is that because of the weather, the climate, the food?
I don't know if you've watched, I don't know, was it on Netflix or was it on something where they went to like all the blue zones and they interviewed the people, like, what are you eating? What are you doing? Is it community? And it's that like third thing. It's like that esoteric thing that we can't put our finger on it. And I think it's like it's purpose.
Mm-hmm.
That I'm here for a reason. And yoga teacher training, not only yoga teacher training, but yoga practice in itself, whether you teach it or not, it's that discovery of, why am I here? Like, what's my purpose? Or we use the word dharma. And when you live with purpose and you speak with purpose, I feel like you want to live longer.
Mm-hmm.
And you do things and you surround yourself with those that want the same exact thing.
I agree. And I think it's really important to have something motivating you every day to wake up and to get out of bed and go do. You have to have something bigger than yourself. My quote I always used to say is, get a bigger problem, which is a sort of
That's so good.
but
That's so good.
Well, it's sort of like catty in a way, but it explains exactly what you need to do as an artist is you have to continually find a bigger problem.
See, you're already a teacher. Like, I love that.
Yeah.
Like, mic drop right there.
I'm a professor.
I know, but you are like teaching yoga.
Okay.
You are.
Well, there's so many, that's the thing is there's so many similarities.
Yeah.
There's so many intersections between the concentration and relaxation required for a performer and what yoga gives you. And that's why the two go so hand in hand. And so that's why I've always practiced yoga, but now I just want to go even deeper and I want to be able to incorporate it more into my teaching and actually like say, here, I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes I don't know what I'm talking about most of the time.
Right. One more thing before we take a break. I have to say that since I've dedicated myself over the last year to yoga and gone public with it, not been shy about posting on social media or whatever, and people have seen the noticeable changes in my life. They've seen me, lose weight, get healthier, just make it part of who I am. A lot of times I hear people say, oh yeah, I should totally do that too. I should totally try that. And then they don't.
Yes.
So what do you say to people like that? How do you motivate people to join you?
Yeah. We have we smile at each other as teachers when we hear this all the time, like, oh, I don't go to yoga because I can't touch my toes. And we're like, that's why you go to yoga, right? I never want it to be forceful. I want someone to come on their own volition. The best way that I can do it and that you can do it is what you're already doing. You're leading by example, right? And it's like, how can I not want to be around Vince? Or how can I not like what he's doing something? I don't know what that something is, but he seems joyful and he seems at ease. And, I'll be the first one to tell you, like, we're not perfect as yogis, but we are reflective. And oh, dang it, why'd I say that? Or why'd I do that? I could do better, right? So I think leading by example and also trying to break any myths or make it non-intimidating. You can be any age, any size. I mean, everyone is welcome. They truly, truly are.
Yes. And we have to just continue to lead by example. I guess that's the best way to put it.
Keep doing the good work.
Yeah. Well, let's take a quick break and we'll be right back. Practice yoga anywhere with the Chandali Go Sweat Yoga Towel, your portable studio in a bag. No more slipping on sweaty mats or worrying about gym germs. This ultra-absorbent towel creates a hygienic, slip-free foundation whether you're at the beach, traveling, or at your local studio. The plush, velvety feel gives you the confidence to nail harder postures while protecting your expensive mat. Lightweight and easy to pack, it fits right in your bag. No more lugging heavy mats around. Plus, it's machine washable and backed by a 1-year, 100% money-back warranty. Ready to transform your practice? Click the link in the description box and grab your Chandali yoga towel today. Practice anywhere, anytime, worry-free. All right, everybody, we are back with Meg Shuba, megshubayoga.com, and we're going to talk about this investment of the yoga teacher training from just a little bit of a different angle. So not about money. Let's talk about time and energy and showing up fully. So this is not just some casual weekend fling, this is a commitment.
Yeah.
First of all, you want people to commit to Monday evenings, to get to know you and your practice a little bit better. And then also the virtual modules and then the 2 full weeks in Costa Rica. So why do you hold that line of commitment to the Monday evenings and all of that? Talk a little bit about commitment in time.
Yeah. A lot of people, again, think that they have to nail certain poses before they, enroll in teacher training. Not the case, but what is required is like a full heart and full presence every time that we're together. Specifically for Mondays, we call them Zoom shalas. So it's a really nice practice of like finding an area in your home that you deem to be sacred, wherever it is. You can bring your dog. If you want to bring, your partner, you can. You can come alone. Set up items around you that feel really special. It's almost like you create this own temple within your home. And we all log on, and there's people from all over the United States that will pop on, and then we'll have our teacher training cohort in there as well. And part of being a yogi is it's a Sanskrit word, and it's tapas. This will be on your final exam, so make
Taking
a note.
notes.
Take a note. Tapas, Tapas. So different than
Yum.
like Spanish little delicacies, and it means discipline, right? So it means to show up to your mat on times when it's hard to show up to your mat. Like I know that there's going to be stuff going on Monday nights that people are going to be like, but so-and-so asked me to go out for dinner, or there's this really good show on. There's that part of a yogi that's like, but my practice is so important to me, right?
Yeah.
And it only helps people because it gets you into kind of the groove of it, because, we're together living, breathing, sleeping, doing yoga for 2 weeks. So to get in this, I don't want to say habit, I want to say ritual, like where you look forward to creating that space or lighting your candle or making your tea and having your practice on your mat in your own home. And it's a way we can gather together. And also I like sprinkle in a ton of educational tidbits too. So like you get education even before.
There's teachable moments at every turn. That's something I always say.
There so is.
Because when you're teaching, when you're practicing something that you teach, you can't help but teach as you're practicing.
Yeah.
And it's the same with what I do in the theater. It's, I may be directing the scene, but as I'm directing the scene, I'm also teaching you how to be in a scene. Like I'm teaching you how to take a note. I'm teaching you how to do all those things. So I'm practicing and teaching. You can't separate the two.
You can't separate, no. Mm-mm.
So that's great. And the other thing I wanted to mention is I was just talking to a student today in an advising meeting about routine. And, what I'm trying to encourage them is to just have more routine, because I really believe that routine helps mental health. And that one of the things that helped me through the pandemic was routine, because I was completely unemployed and just I didn't know what I was going to do next. I was just lost. But I made a commitment to go to Orange Theory Fitness daily. And that
It's like the most fit we've ever been was COVID.
it was pretty good. Well, actually, probably not, because I was probably just like canceling it all out by eating after class.
Oh,
But
okay. That's okay.
No, but I did commit to that, and by committing to that, it trained my brain in a way to have routine, and it gave me like hope.
Yeah.
And because I had hope, I was able to continue dreaming about the future, and then eventually things worked out, and eventually I got a job and went on my merry way and found my path again. But in those darkest of dark moments when I felt like I had nothing, just the simple act of showing up and committing to something on a daily level, something so basic as like 1 hour a day, it just completely changed my mindset and set me up for success. So I'm sure you can relate to that.
Yeah, and actually, see, you're already a yoga teacher, because I'm going to drop another Sanskrit word. It is on your final. Take another note. It's called sadhana. Sadhana is your disciplined spiritual practice. So that is your time on your mat, whether it's a 3-minute breath work or a full-on 60-minute vinyasa flow. But it's a continual commitment for yourself, to yourself, from yourself, through yourself, for your own spiritual evolution. And that needs several things. Like my teacher, Naveen Mashan, she says it needs three things. It needs technique. So how do I do this yoga thing? Which we teach you that in training. And you need time. And you also need repetition. So the repetition comes with the discipline of showing up on your yoga mat, not just when you want to, but you make it a routine or a ritual, whether that's early morning or at night or in the middle of your day, that you can like tend to yourself and care for yourself.
Mm-hmm. And somebody said one time that the difference between routine and ritual is that ritual, it has some sort of spiritual connection. And that's kind of what you're saying, is that the idea of ritual, doing something to have some sort of extra element come out of it. It's not just habit.
It's not just habit. Yeah. And I think with routine, a lot of times we can check out because there is that repetitive quality. Like I always drive this way to work, so I'm going to keep doing it, and I'm going to keep making my certain oatmeal for breakfast. It's my routine. So then it becomes mindless instead of mindful. Mm-hmm. And I think ritual has that mindful aspect because there's just complete presence, and there is that like spiritual aspect to it too. Whatever that means for you, it could mean nature.
Yeah, it means something different for everyone. I think that's another thing that people need to understand, is that spiritual doesn't necessarily mean that you're taking on a religion of some kind.
No. And I'm glad you brought it up because that can be a big myth as well. And we dive into the history of yoga and the components of how it started. But yoga is non-dogmatic, and you can, if you practice religion, you can practice any religion and still do yoga. Yoga is the stilling of the mind. Like I can only speak for myself. I've got a monkey brain. Yoga helps me like still that out.
It's funny that you say that though, because I actually, when I get on the mat, okay, so I've been committing to going to weekly class. Yeah. I go to a certain day at a certain time every week.
Yes, you do. A certain spot in the classroom.
Certain. No, I have moved around.
You have.
I have moved around.
Yes, you have.
But I actually find that I am most creative in the class.
Oh my gosh, I just spoke about that the other day while I was teaching. I don't think you were in that class.
So like the idea of this, like what we're doing right now, happened on the mat.
Yes.
The idea of let's make a podcast, let's do it, Those ideas come to me when I'm on the mat, not when I'm just home, just doing whatever I'm doing at home with a bunch of distractions. It's when I'm on the mat and I'm focused and I can just zero in on my mind that these creative ideas come to me. And as a creative person, I can't shut that off. That's constantly running up there.
Yeah. I have told myself, and this is recent, I'm like, do I need to have a Post-it note by my yoga mat? Because all the ideas come and I'm like in the flow state and I'm like, finding all these magical creations. And then I get out to my car and I'm like, I know I had at least 12 good ideas in that class. What were they?
Well, and it's not always positive either.
Yeah,
sometimes you can have like a totally depressing session where you're working through some emotions.
I mean, that kind of is the hope, right? It is to stay with your emotions because we want yoga and life to mimic each other. And if we think we only come to our mat and it's going to be Zen, peace, and like everything is okay in the world, we know that that's not how life is.
No.
So if we're on our mat and we can be like, oh my God, this is challenging. Oh my gosh, this situation bubbled up for me, but I'm still here and I'm working through it. That's the ultimate practice.
I remember one of the first classes that I ever took, maybe 10, 11 years ago, when I first started practicing, the teacher said, I think we went into like a pigeon pose or something.
It's always pigeon.
Yeah,
it's always pigeon.
but I remember her saying like, this can be a very emotional pose. Like it's going to maybe crack open some emotional parts of you. And I just could not believe it. Like, it really was true. And it's not just because she said it. I
Yeah.
really don't believe
Yeah.
it's because she said that.
No, when in doubt, do a pitch.
Yeah. But there is and we can talk about this in our next episode as well, where we're going to
Okay.
talk a little bit more about theater and how
Yeah.
the crossover. But there is so much emotional release when you release these tensions that creep into the body, specifically like in your hips and in your legs and everything that we're carrying. Like, we don't even realize what we're carrying half the time.
Oh, no, we don't. And we're usually carrying other people's stuff
Yeah.
as well. Yeah. Yeah. And you'll learn that in teacher training, like what certain poses or what areas of the body will lead to different emotions being released as well. There's so much like emotional anatomy that's also within yoga that we might not acknowledge in like Western medicine. And in yoga teacher training, we do all of like the Western anatomy, but then we do like the Eastern stuff, like the meridians and the chakras and all that other kind of things that you're like, I was in pigeon and whoa, what just happened there?
It's amazing. So we will continue this conversation as we have been. I'm so
Okay.
grateful that you've been here and in the studio. And
We can do this all day.
I know. It's amazing. So as you guys know, Body Poetic is a bit of an investment, but you are investing not only in your teacher training, but in yourself. You're giving your time, your energy, and you are going to be transformed. It's an immersion into 2 weeks in Costa Rica, plus all of the online courses as well. I hope you will think about joining myself and Meg and lots of wonderful people on this journey. It's going to be a fantastic journey.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you'd like more information about our trip to the Nicoya Peninsula and Body Poetic Yoga Teacher Training, the 200-hour or the 300-hour teacher training, check out the links in the description box below and you can learn more information. And be sure to hit the subscribe button so you can be notified of our next episode as well, because we're going to talk a little more too. So, all right, everybody, thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you next time.